Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brow of grace, yet grace must still look so. In Macbeth by William Shakespeare, Macbeth is young Thane, who becomes king through Machiavellian intrigue and ambition. Macbeth builds his life around the prophecies of the Weird Sisters, three witches who claim to be able to predict and control the lives and fates of the characters in the play, and tell him he is destined to become king. In Macbeth, the events which occur in the world are not merely the result of the character's independent free will or blind mechanism, but rather the interplay between impersonal forces beyond the control of the individual characters. Although the play evinces a sort of moral relativism, with the witches chanting, "Fair is foul and foul is fair," in the opening scene, the forces in control of the universe of Macbeth take retribution on the characters whose goals and ends align with theirs, which is identical to the will of God and the moral law of the universe. This retribution has the secondary effect of disrupting the regular happenings of nature, showing the deep interconnectedness between the characters and the natural world, their bloody stage. Macbeth's immoral actions lead not only to his destruction, but the amplification of evil and negativity in nature as a whole. Shakespeare's Macbeth portrays evil and evil deeds as perturbations of the spirit world, which the character's unnatural and immoral actions cause. The universe in Macbeth is not one of mechanistic causality, but rather of impersonal powers and principalities. In Macbeth, the lives and destinies of the characters are almost never attributed to their own actions and wills, but rather nebulous forces such as chance, fate, fortune, implicitly evoking the medieval concept of Lady Fortuna, a blindfolded goddess who turns a wheel which directs the fates of human beings in the world. This is shown when Lady Macbeth receives the news that Macbeth is destined to become king, and proclaims, "All that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have crowned withal." Lady Macbeth attributes her and Macbeth's destiny and fate to unconscious forces such as chance and fate, with wills and volition of their own, which they cannot control as mere mortals. There is further evidence of the existence and receptivity of the spirit worlds based on the personal prayers of Macbeth, which he addresses not to a creator god, but rather to the stars. After Macbeth resolves to kill King Duncan, he soliloquizes, "Stars, hide your fires, let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be, which the eye fears when it is done to see." Macbeth prays to not be judged of his actions, and for his actions not to bear too heavily on his conscience. Stars are considered in Abrahamic metaphysics to be the sons of God, or divine council which share authority with God over the universe. In this soliloquy, Macbeth essentially asks God for an indulgence, on the account that the only way to succeed in this world is vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. This is the deeper meaning behind King Duncan's proclamation about the Thane of Cawdor. "What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won." Fortune in Shakespeare's Macbeth is a self-cannibalizing zero-sum system. The spirits can only favor so many characters at once. Therefore, it is in the interest of the characters to attempt to influence or control fate and metaphysical aids to achieve their ambitions. The universe of Macbeth is structured in such a way that there is ultimately justice for the characters' action. The spirit world is receptive to the action and personalities of the characters in the play, with each feeding back on one another. Although the characters believe that these spirits can be manipulated to their self-serving ends, they are in truth only receptive to the actions and traits of the characters insofar as they align with the goals and purposes of the spirits themselves. The characters who believe they can cheat fortune and continue to act immorally, such as Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, are mistaken, because the ultimately powerful spirits, such as justice, fate, and fortune, operate in loco dies. They punish those who go against God and the great chain of being, and reward those who carry out his will. Macbeth falls victim to this sort of karmic retribution almost immediately after he kills King Duncan. Macbeth recounts to his wife, "One cried, 'God bless us,' and 'Amen' the other. As they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fear, I could not say Amen. When they did say, 'God bless us,' I had most need of blessing, and Amen stuck in my throat." Macbeth knows that he has forsaken God's blessing by killing King Duncan and going against the natural law and great chain of being of reality. He has literally killed the king and figuratively killed God by going against his conscience in favor of Machiavellianism, blind ambition, and trying to cheat fortune. In his conversation with the old man following Macbeth's murder of Duncan, Ross expresses this metaphysical property of the universe as justice. Ross says that the heavens are as troubled with man's act, threatens his bloody stage, meaning that God and spiritual principalities interdict the immoral plans and purposes of evil humans by disturbing the fabric of nature itself, the stage on which man feels free to trample God's will and perform bloody acts. The doctor who notes that Lady Macbeth is suffering not from a physical sickness, but rather the spiritual consequences of her actions, spells out this axiom of cosmic justice even more explicitly. He says, "Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets." Unnatural here has a double meaning. In the first instance, against the moral law of nature, and in the second instance, against the physical laws of nature, such as the regular cycles of natural processes. This is why the immoral actions of Macbeth cause such trouble and disorder in the physical world. Yet this trouble and disorder is not random, but towards an end. From the time Macbeth kills Duncan, the events of the story line up to lead to his downfall. Fate is the invisible karmic hand which directs the lives and destinies of the characters in the play and enacts cosmic justice. Even Macbeth, in one of his clearer moments before killing King Duncan, acknowledges this fact, saying, "This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of this poisoned chalice to our own lips," meaning that he will ultimately suffer worse than King Duncan from his actions. Because the universe has been irreparably altered by the moral debt Macbeth owes, Macbeth not only perceives reality to be meaningless, but has caused it to be so. In Macbeth's iconic monologue after Lady Macbeth kills herself and before Macduff kills him, he soliloquizes, "Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." Macbeth's notion of time and reality as having syllables or being a story both contrasts and overlaps with the Christian view of the logos and reality as a teleological language. To Macbeth, reality is a language, but it tells the story of a meaningless, brutish, stupid succession of ever-vanishing moments with no end or purpose that drags on for far too long. These are the perfect last words for Macbeth's troubled life, because through his violation of natural law and the great chain of being, he has killed God and the king, and thus turned reality through the feedback between the spiritual world and the world of human action into a mess. It is this great evil which ultimately leads to his downfall. Macbeth poisons and perverts and cannibalizes the very fabric of reality and must pay the ultimate price. He is vividly aware of this even before he kills King Duncan, telling Lady Macbeth that Duncan's virtues, will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity like a naked newborn babe, striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed, upon the sightless couriers of the air, meaning that his obviously immoral actions towards a good and moral king will provoke the wrath of the throne and glory of God. Yet, Macbeth continues his crusade against the godly things, ultimately deciding to kill King Duncan, which leads to the series of events that cause the death of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth by the end of the play. The ultimate folly of Macbeth is not merely his ambition, but his blasphemy against the principalities which determine the lives and fates of human beings, such as time and fortune. Macbeth makes this point explicitly after resolving to kill Duncan, despite fully understanding the immorality and spiritual consequences of his actions, saying, "Away and mock the time with fairest show, false face must hide what the false heart doth know." In the beginning of the play, when the captain is relating an account of the success of Macbeth and Banquo in battle, he tells King Duncan that Macbeth is notorious for disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution like Valor's minion. Before deciding to invade Scotland and destroy Macbeth together, Macbeth laments to Malcolm that in Macduff laments to Malcolm that in Macbeth's Scotland, each new morn, new widow's howl, new orphan's cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds, as if it felt with Scotland and yelled out like syllable of dolor. Through the hell in his soul, Macbeth has created a hell on earth and everyone living in it. It is only before the heavenly authorities that he can be brought to justice. Like Icarus, the unbearable heat of heaven must melt the waxen wings of his folly to restore peace and harmony to the earth. After Macbeth gets into an argument with his wife over whether he should be horrified at having killed King Duncan, a drunken porter knocks at their palace, saying that Macbeth has committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. This frightening line insinuates that the place Macbeth is going upon his premature death is one of wailing and gnashing of teeth. Shakespeare's Macbeth can thus be understood as a tale of the interplay between these two polar forces. On the one hand, the folly of man, and on the other, the wrath of God. Thank you. Let the light shine forth in the darkness. May the peace of our Father in heaven be upon you. Like and subscribe. Peace.